Well, many fires continue to burn in the western United States. Bennett Kessler filed this story. In our area, lightning earlier this week sparked nearly a dozen small fires, and more recently, the Rim Fire in Tuolumne County caused closure of Highway 120 West near Yosemite National Park. Now, on the west side, homes were being threatened. 2 homes and 5 outbuildings burned as a result of the Rim Fire. Conditions smoky, but news reports said Yosemite skies remain clear. Now, closer to home, the Sunshine Curve tree fire was one of more than a dozen lightning fires that ignited Monday evening as a major thunderstorm again moved through the eastern Sierra. Photographer Cheryl Hogan captured several images from the Sunshine Curve fire. District Ranger John Riegelbrugge, a C-rated tree faller, dropping an estimated 80-foot burning tree. Now, that burning tree was felled away from power lines and exploded in flames on impact. Other photos from Hogan show Mammoth Lakes Fire Department firefighters McClanahan, Van Winkle, and Captain Berna Scoding putting out the burning treetop. And we sure thank Cheryl Hogan for those dramatic pictures. Also, Big Pine firefighters quickly responded and knocked down a small fire near Tinnemaha Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And the Spring Peak fire continues to burn east of Bodie. High gusty winds today surely worked against the firefighters. Now, the Spring Peak fire was first reported on August 18th. Lightning on August 17th is the primary cause. Now, that fire is burning in light flashy fuels and is wind driven. The fire is located approximately 24 miles southwest of Hawthorne, Nevada. That's about 12 miles northeast of Mono Lake. And that fire has crossed the California state line approximately 3 miles east of Bodie State Historical Park, where structural protection fire engines are stationed and dozer lines are being reinforced. Now, access to Bodie State Historical Park was closed Monday evening until further notice. California State Route 270, that's Bodie Road, and the Cottonwood Road running north from California State 167 will be closed to all traffic except fire and emergency vehicles. Now, historical mining structures and the cemetery at the old Aurora town site have been protected. Several active mines in the area are threatened and are under a voluntary evacuation. Now, the Spring Peak fire was last listed at 14,300 acres with 39% containment. Full containment expected by Sunday, 6 p.m. Over 270 personnel are working the Spring Peak fire. Well, we have an update on that Mammoth Lakes bank robbery. Now, that robbery occurred at the Mammoth Lakes branch of Union Bank on August 2nd. 2 possible suspects have been identified and located, and both have been cleared, according to a press release from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department. Now, the bank's surveillance camera photo was widely distributed through the local media, and several local residents identified 2 different people as the suspect. The first individual was identified by a local resident who, after viewing the surveillance photo, believed it was a local resident. That person was located a few days later and cleared as a possible suspect. Now, the second suspect was identified by multiple local residents as a former Mammoth Lakes resident. There was sufficient information for an arrest warrant, and that individual was located in Santa Monica and arrested by the Santa Monica Police Department on August 14th and held for the Mammoth Lakes Police Department. On August 15th, 2 MLPD officers traveled to Santa Monica and transported the warrant suspect back to Mammoth Lakes. Now, after further investigation, it was determined that there was sufficient conflicting evidence to release the individual pending further investigation. The arrest warrant was withdrawn, and that individual has returned to Southern California. Now, the Mammoth Lakes Police Department press release states that the investigation is continuing. The robbery occurred at 2:45 p.m. when the suspect entered the bank and passed a note to the teller which stated in both English and Spanish, "Robbery." The teller handed the cash from her cash drawer to the suspect and activated the silent alarm as he was walking toward the exit. MLPD officers arrived in less than 3 minutes, but were unable to locate the suspect, who is described as a male, white, between 55 and 60 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, slender build, white hair covered with a light green baseball cap, checkered white, red, and green long sleeve shirt. He was clean shaven. No vehicle or weapon was seen. Mammoth Lakes Police Department has received many tips from the public, and anyone with information about the suspect is requested to contact the Mammoth Lakes Police Department at 760-934-2011. Well, Bennett Kessler filed these following couple reports. The Mono County 2012-2013 grand jury report is out. One of the investigations involves someone who complained about an alleged illegal search and excessive force by the Mono County Sheriff's Department. The jury found the allegations against the Sheriff's Department were, quote, unfounded based upon all available evidence, end quote. Now, the grand jury did investigate the allegations that an officer used an excessive amount of pepper spray and denied paramedic transport of the complainant to the hospital. The complainant also alleged that an officer illegally obtained evidence without probable cause. But again, the grand jury concluded that the allegations against the Sheriff's Department were unfounded based upon all available evidence. Also, Assembly Bill 109 will eventually shift low-risk prison inmates from state prisons to county jails. And after the Mono County grand jury toured the jail, they concluded that Mono County should, quote, be planning ahead to determine a viable solution to housing long-term inmates as a result of AB 109, end quote. Now, the Mono County grand jury found that AB 109 has not yet seriously impacted the jail, but reported that staff predicted the number of full-time prisoners will increase to 15 by the end of the year. The concern is a mix of career criminals with others. Other areas of concern from the report: the aging 911 dispatch and computer control system, better outside exercise facilities, and a classroom. Grand jury report says the probation department is understaffed and should seek funding for a halfway house for the some 130 drug offenders on probation. In other matters, the Mono County grand jury looked into a letter of complaint regarding pre-hospital training for personnel of the county's 11 fire districts. 2 complaints. The jury found no problem with the way the contractor was selected. The jury also initiated an inquiry into Measure C, a school bond measure approved by Mono County voters back in 2000. Now, the grand jury report says college enrollment dropped after passage of Measure C, and that is being tracked. The jury has asked for a brief Measure C status report in the next college report to the community. You can read more on both of these grand jury reports on our website, sierrawave.net. We'll be back with more news.